Now this video is all about something called a light pad. What is it? I'm going to show you what I've been sent free of charge by a company called Elise. They've asked me to do a product review on this one, so we'll find out what's inside the box and what it can be used for as well. And of course, how it works. It's like Christmas, isn't it? Let's give it a try, shall we? Let's get started. Today's video is all about how to use a light box. I'm going to demonstrate this using a light box kindly sent to me by a company called Elise. I'll also show you how to use a light box. I'll review this particular one and let you know what I think about it. Okay, so let's make a start on this. So what we got, easy tracing, draw what you see what you draw. I know, I'm looking forward to opening this. So what's it got on the main packaging itself? Not a lot, as you can see. So you got eyesight protected. Now apparently that's to do with it's not dazzling. It's also a soft light as well, so we'll find out about that. Scale, so it's got like a ruler all the way around the edge of this one as well. It's very thin. I think it's 5mm thin, I think, or thickness wise. So that's very, very thin indeed. So I'm looking forward to having a look at that. And you can adjust the brightness as well. So other than that, I don't think there's a lot else I can tell you about. Made in China. There you go. Okay, apparently it comes with a power cable. I mean, the box itself doesn't look very attractive, does it, as it stands? Okay, so let's have a quick look on the inside. This is how it came, by the way, just as it is. So, you know, not a great deal in the way of packaging on this. So what we got inside the box? Okay, so first of all, we've got two gripper clips. I'm assuming they're to hold the paper in place when you're using the light box. Put them to one side a minute. And let's see what else comes out. So we've got a cable as well. I don't know how long this one is. We shall find that out very shortly. Alright, and let's just slide this one out now and see what's inside. Anything else in there, Paul? So not a lot else in there, as you can see. Empty. Alright, get rid of that. Okay, we'll take that out of there. Now, oh, it's upside down. Oh, apparently, these are anti-slip, so really handy. I mean, I've got a non-slip surface on my painting table here anyway, as you can see. It's A4 in size, and we've got some basic spec on there as well. Because I would have thought you'd get something a little bit more than that. Because I've seen other reviews on this before where they come with printing paper and designs and other bits and bobs, even a free pencil. But none of that is with this. So the packaging is a little bit lacking. I don't know if you'd want to, I don't know, for a presentation piece you want to give it to a friend for a birthday or something like that. For presentation, I think it's a little bit low on that. So, you know, we'll find out as it works anyway and how well it works. So all information there. If you want to pause the screen, I'll leave that there for you so you can read all that bump on there and see what it's all about. But the things you can use this for is for things like transferring photographs for an outline drawing. And you can use it for scrapbooking, calligraphy, tattoo designs, quilting diagrams. I want to thought that. Illustrations, even X-ray viewing. I know, X-ray viewing. Apparently people have used light boxes as well for looking at negatives, which you get obviously from your photographs as well, from the old photographs, not the new digital ones, of course. Sketching, embroidery, tracing images, and other hobbies you can use it for as well. So quite a lot of things, isn't there, you can use a light box for. Now the thing with this, as I said, it's A4 in size, not much else in there. That's all we get for the information. There's no warranty instructions or anything like that on this one, which I'm quite surprised about. So there's nothing other than that one little piece of paper in there. It's got the CE mark on the back, as you can see, so that's quite interesting to know. Other than that, let's see if we can get some power in that, shall we? Now, because this is like a micro USB, I think, on this one, so have a quick look at this lead a minute. Kind of get some ideas on how long this lead is. Oh, actually, it's fairly long, isn't it? It's got a reasonable length to this. And you can power this from a power supply, you know, one of these power blocks that we use for our mobile phones and other devices such as laptops, etc. and iPads. So we can power them separately, not laptops, we use iPads, isn't it, for the power blocks. But you can use that from a computer or anything like that to kind of give it a power. Or you can plug it directly into the mains, because you know you can get them plugs with the facility where you can plug that straight into a plug socket. You can do that, or even the new USB sockets, which you very often get with your plugs as well. Now that roughly, I would say, is probably about 2 meters maybe, so about 6 feet, something like that. It's got to be something like that, I would have thought. So it's not a bad length. I've already got one set up ready to go though, which is this long red one I've got here, which I use for charging my power supply, and that just goes in the side of this one here. So you can just see the little gadget there. So that's where it's going to go into that one. So that's just a micro USB. So we'll just plug that one in there a minute and see what happens, shall we? Now apparently the light on this is variable, so we can make it bright or dark on this one. There's a power button. Well, hey, there he goes. Ooh, here like this. Oh, there we go. Remove this protective film from the front before use. Ta-da! I'll take that one off. Okay, now let's just see if this goes light or dark. So if we can dim it. Oh, that's really bright there. And then you can take it right down. Hold your finger on it. Turn it on, turn it off. So that's on. And then bring it right to its full maximum brightness. That is really bright. But I'll tell you what, you know they said on the instructions that it's not glaring. It isn't. I mean, I'm sat directly in front of it now, and my eyes are not really kind of, whoa, that's a bit too bright on my eyes. That's fine, that should work quite well. And apparently it's also flicker free with the adjustable brightness, and apparently as well, it does remember the brightness settings, which would be quite interesting with something like that, wouldn't it? So when you switch it back on again, it should remember where you left it. So this is maximum full brightness, let's just switch it off. Okay, back on. 3, 2, 1. And that's back to full brightness again. So if I just dim that one down, let's just test this out a minute. Let's just knock it back down to something like that. So it's just on, as you can see. Turn it off. Turn it on. Perfect. Brighten it back up again to its maximum brightness, and there we go. So I think the next stage is to give it a quick test, don't you, and see what we can do with it. Now most of the drawing I do, I tend to use a mechanical pencil, and that's because it keeps a very fine tip all the time for this this lead size. Oh, and this is a 0.5 nib as well, by the way, so it's very, very fine, as you can see. I'll keep pushing that out. That's going to drop out in a minute. I don't want it to drop out, so I'll just very lightly push it back in. And that's what I tend to use for a lot of my drawings. It's nice and fine, nice and light, and as I said, we can get some very fine details in there. We really can. We've got a dog's eye, as you can see, so let's see how this works. Now, the only thing is, it comes with these little clips, but I've got about an A5 sheet of paper here, so when I put that on there, it's obviously not going to reach the paper. Of course not. So what do I do? Okay, what I'm going to have to do is get some low-tack masking tape, or washi tape in this case, and just very lightly tape it down to the surface. Alright, so it doesn't move around anywhere. A sheet of white paper, similar kind of size, something like that. And we'll tape that one down as well, right on the very top. Stick it, there you go, a little bit more, probably push it over that way. There you go, that's better. Something like that will do. And then we'll switch it on. Okay, well, I can see the eye through there, but it's not very clear. Can I go any brighter? Well, it's the brightest it's going to go, I think. Let's see if we can go dimmer. That's going dimmer. Go really, 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 really bright. Yeah, that's as bright as it gets. So what's the problem with that? Now, I reckon if I turn my lights off here, it doesn't say anything like this in the instructions, I don't think. If I turn my lights off, we should see the eye come through much more clearer than that. So I'm going to get up and do some switching off a minute, so bear with me a moment. So there we go, that's much better, isn't it? Now the lights are off. I've even closed the curtains as well. So I'm going to go around the image now. Probably fast forward some of this as well, so it's not all the same. There we go. And down the side there as well. I know my hands are silhouetted here, aren't they? They really are. Could do all sorts of funny shapes. There you go. And I can see what I'm doing quite clearly on this, I must admit. I can't see the reason why I'd want to have the light dimmer than this, to be honest with you. Because I think if it was dimmer, I wouldn't be able to see half as much detail through this reference photograph. You see, if you're using this for tracing out outline drawings, that's fine. You know, you can see those details through there anyway, if it's just outlines. But when you're working on photographs, you want to be able to see as much as possible within that photograph. And I can see, as I said, a fair amount of detail here. So it's going around the main outside edge of this dog's eye. And just down the side here, look. And then let's see if we can work out roughly where things go on the inside of this eye. So we've got all these lovely reflections as well, which I love to paint in watercolour. Now you can see that with this reflection, there's a lot of light shining through there, so I need to make sure I know where that is on the reference photograph. Now the thing is, when you're working on anything like this and you're working on a light box, light pad, again, whatever you want to call it, it's very handy, because if you're trying to work out a sketch and you're doing things freehand, for example, I know this isn't freehand today, then to do it on something like this will be better than trying to do it on a watercolour surface. If you're working on a watercolour, for example, that you start to damage that paper. Every mark you make will be an imprint within that paper surface. So when you go to paint over that area, probably put a background wash on or something like that, that will stand out like a sore thumb. Okay, so your paint will sink into that recess where the pencil has been, even though you've erased the graphite off there. It will stand out, it will show up. On a light box like this, it's going to be much better, because at least then when you trace your image out onto the watercolour surface from doing it on here, you know that you're not going to be making too many mistakes along the way and making unnecessary marks within the paper surface. So I like the idea of doing it this way around to save any damage to your watercolour paper. Okay, a bit more around there, and I think we're about there for the main details in there anyway, just the main structure of this eye for demonstration purposes. Just get a few of the directional lines within the face as well, as you can see here. Just get a few in there, that's all I want, so I know where things go. And then I'm going to turn the lights back on and open my curtains again so the neighbours don't think I'm in bed, and see what we get. Okay, right, back in a minute. Okay, the lights are back on. I can see. That's better. Okay, now let's have a quick look at this. Tell you what, let's just turn it off first. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. And now you can see what I've drawn out. You couldn't see that first of all, because obviously the image was showing through that much underneath. And to get that in return is really, really good. So now I've got the main structure which I need to be able to draw out that dog's eye accurately. So this is really useful if you're working on, say, a bird, an animal of any form really, trying to kind of work out the main proportions and get them right before you start on a painting or even a main drawing as well. Because we know trying to get proportions right is very tricky, and it really is. But at least this way, as I mentioned as well, it could save any damage to your watercolour paper or your sketch paper, whatever you're working on, before you go onto that surface. Now, as you can see, I've got a beautiful kestrel here, and that's one of my photographs, and they are lovely to paint, they really are. But I want to try 3 different types of paper over the top of this kestrel and see which one we can see the kestrel through the most, okay? Now, I usually use printer paper, which is this one here, to transfer my outline drawing through, and I can see all of the main details, especially when it's dark around the eye. I can get my kind of mechanical pencil here. I'll then transfer this drawing onto my watercolour surface. There are many ways of transferring the outline drawing to the watercolour surface, so I'll pop a card to the top right for a video that goes through that for you. But what if we wanted to do this as a drawing, just as a normal standard drawing, but to draw on, let's say, cartridge paper, which is what this is here, okay? So this is quite a thick card. I'm going to put that over the top, and I can see the details just about through there. And again, I should just be able to draw them through and just get the main outline of the image. It saves a lot of erasing and having to correct it all the time when you're trying to work on an outline drawing. Okay, it's a quick way of doing it, really is. And then finally, I'm going to try some watercolour paper, which is I use all the time, as you know. So £140 or 300 GSM, which is quite a standard paper type, which most watercolourists use. Okay, you can go thicker than that, but this is very often the one that you tend to buy. And I can see through that as well. So not bad actually. I know very well that when you're looking at something like printer paper, look at the difference there, look. You see what I mean? So printer paper on the right, and obviously my watercolour paper on the left. And you can see the big difference. But obviously this is much, much thicker. So to be honest with you, we could use this for all 3 different types of papers. And considering that watercolour paper is fairly thick, to kind of use as well, I think it's doing quite a reasonable job, don't you? You see, at the end of the day, it's all about the method that works best for you. It really is. There's no hard and fast rules, but sometimes sort of being aware of other ways of doing things can open up new doors which I didn't even know existed. So if you ever used a Lightbox, let me know in the comments down below, and also the reasons why you used it. I'd love to hear from you.